The next thing I want to show you is how to properly cable up a lighting instrument as well as the triggers so that the camera will make the light trigger. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a power strip and a power cord, right? So we're going to plug the power strip into the wall. Making sure that the cable uncoils neatly and lays flat on the floor. We don't want to have it strung up in the air because then it becomes a trip hazard. Next, we're going to grab our light mod and make sure that we have a mod on here. We want to make sure that the safety cap has been removed from the instrument. We do this in order to keep it from melting. You don't know for sure that the person in front of you has turned everything off. If you were to plug this in and that safety cap is still attached to the instrument, potentially it could melt. And then it just destroys the entire instrument and destroys the cap. So we already have our light mod on here. We're going to undo the Velcro. We're going to plug it into the back of the instrument like so, making sure it seats completely. We're going to unfurl the cable. We're going to plug it into our power strip and then turn the power strip on. We're going to make sure that our instrument is off, and we know it's off when the power switch light is not red. It is off at that position, right? So next, we're going to grab our pocket wizards and a sync cable. So this is one of the sync cables. On the pocket wizard itself, on the side, there's one hole where this jack will plug into the pocket wizard. Go ahead and plug that in and make sure it's seated all the way. Then on the back of the Alien Bee itself, just as we discussed yesterday in class, where the sync port is on the back of the instrument, we're going to plug that cable right in like there. Make sure that's seated all the way in. We'll take our strain relief. We don't want this just dangling around. We're going to take it, we're going to attach it on that top lock knob on the instrument itself. Now we're going to turn on the pocket wizard. There's a power switch on the side. Push that switch up. Then we're going to see a green light that's going to blink about every 3 seconds on the top of the trigger. That lets you know it's on. It also will light up the number that's at the top of the trigger. Now on these triggers, they have 11 channels. You spin the dial so that you can go 1 through 10. We're going to leave this one on channel number 1. All right? So there's the strain relief. Now we're going to turn the instrument on. Okay? We're going to grab a second pocket wizard. We're going to make sure that it is on channel number 1. It's going to fit into our hot shoe with the controls facing to the left of the camera. There's a tightening collar here on the base of it. Unscrew that. It's going to slide directly into our hot shoe. Make sure it's seated all the way in, and then you're going to tighten the lock knob. Now we're going to double check that we are on the same channel as the one that's on our instrument. We now turn the power on. We turn the power on to the camera. First thing we're going to do is we're going to hit the test button and make sure that this transmitter is talking to this receiver. The test button's right on the left-hand side. Push it once. The light triggers. Okay? Now we want to make sure that the camera is talking to this. So now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to make sure this is in manual. We're going to push the button. Camera triggers the light. So just to review very quickly. With the instrument turned off, we plug the power cable into the light. With the instrument still turned off, we plug the pocket wizard into the back of the sync jack. We plug the other end into the pocket wizard. Then we turn on the pocket wizard. Then we turn on the light. We mount the pocket wizard to the top of the camera with the controls going to the left. It goes into the hot shoe completely. Then you tighten the collar. Once the Pocket Wizard is turned on, we turn our camera on and we verify that the signal path is correct. Then we get a strobe light. All right, so that's how we cable up a lighting instrument and how we cable up our Pocket Wizards so that the camera can talk to the light. The biggest problem people usually have with this is forgetting to turn something on. So if the Pocket Wizard on the instrument is not turned on and I push the button on the camera for the shutter to release, obviously nothing goes off. So whenever you run into a situation where things are not functioning properly, go back to the first step, make sure your signal path is correct everywhere, i.e. everything is plugged in, and make sure that everything is turned on. All right? So that's how we cable up a light. That's how we get the Pocket Wizards to talk to each other, and the camera now controls the lighting instrument. Okay, that'll be it for the moment. Okay, now we're going to do some close-up details of some of the fine motor movements that we were just talking about before. So, on the top of the instrument, when I refer to the alien bees, they're going to be these two little guys right here, right? So they're spring-loaded. What you do is you grab them and pinch them together. See how they come towards the center? Then we gently release the cap and bring it away. This is a detail of what the strobe tube is. Please do not touch this tube. As I said earlier, you can damage it just with the oils on your skin. When we mount any one of the instruments, be it a reflector or a mod or a softbox, they all do it the exact same way. Again, we compress these. You see how all four of those feet come in? We come in with the modifier, place it on the top two, gently rack it down so it's flush with the face, and then release, right? So now it's securely in place. On the back of the lighting instrument, once we have a light mod on and that cap is safely removed, we then take our power cable, plug it into the back of the instrument, and make sure it's nice and secure. On the triggers, we're going to go ahead and grab that trigger, making sure that the power is turned off. On the side is the jack where the sync cable plugs in. Again, make sure it's seated all the way in. On the back of the instrument, we have our sync jack. We're going to plug the other end of that cable into there, just like so. We take our strain relief, put it on the top so our cable is not strung tight. Power switch on the side of the Pocket Wizard is right here. We turn that on. Once that is on, this channel light will light up on the top of the Pocket Wizard. Now we turn the power to the instrument on. Now when we press the test button on our other trigger, the light goes off. So now let's take a moment to review the controls on the back of the lighting instrument itself. Going from the top, working our way down, just as we did the other day, this slider right here adjusts the output of the strobe. When it's all the way over to the right-hand side and we press the button, we get a really bright light. When it's all the way over here to the left, we get a really soft light. Remember our status OK light? Like right now it's green and I push the test button, I get that amount of light. When I go all the way forward, see how it goes off? Now it comes back on. The capacitor is charged up inside the instrument. Now when we press the test button, we get a very bright light. Now it's charged back up again. Now watch what happens when I slide that slider all the way to the lowest output. We get a red dump light. If I push the test button right now, it's really bright, just like it was before. The green light's now on. Now we do it again. See the difference? So whenever we see that bright red light, we want to hit the test button. Then we've got a green light. We'll turn that back up to full. Now we go over the controls for the modeling light. This one right here turns it on. So we have a light source here now, right? There it's off, there it's on. We turn on track. When we bring the slider for the control of the output of the strobe down, the light goes down with it. Okay? When we turn on cycle, when I test this light, it's going to go off, and then it's not going to come back on until it's ready to fire again. So here we go. So you can see that's about 3.5, 4 seconds before that comes back up. So that's a close-up of that, of the controls of the back of the instrument and how we cable a Pocket Wizard to it. Now, when attaching the Pocket Wizard to the camera, let me go ahead and get this one back off. We're going to make sure that the Pocket Wizard is turned off, right? We're going to make sure that our camera is turned off. Then we have our locking ring right here is completely screwed off, so it's backed off. We're going to take that and we're going to put that into our hot shoe. It's going to slide all the way forward. Once it's in there, we're going to spin that ring until we lock that all the way down. Nice and snug. So we're going to turn our Pocket Wizard on. You'll see now that the channel is lit up. We want to make sure that channel on this matches the channel on the light. Now we turn on the camera. We're always going to do it in that sequence so that it stays safe. If you go plugging this thing in when it's turned on, it's liable to trigger the light a bunch of times, which is not good for the equipment, and it tends to just be really, really annoying. All right, so that's some detail shots of how we operate the back of the instrument, how we cable up our Pocket Wizards, both to the camera and to the light. Thank you very much.